Alright, so you clicked on this video because you want to become a better Fortnite player. Well, you came to the right place, because in today's video I'm going to teach you all the necessary fundamentals and the basics of becoming a good player, even if you have high ping. So stick around for the entire video, I would really appreciate that. Also quickly, it pains me to say this, but if you don't follow me on Twitter yet, then you probably don't know that my PC broke and I will not be able to make progression vids like I want to because I'm using a 10-year-old laptop or something like that. So yeah, I'm really sorry, but I still want to make content for you guys, so you know we gotta keep going. Enjoy the video. We're splitting this video up into 5 sections. All are timestamps, so if you just need help with one thing, skip to the necessary timestamp below. But in today's video, we're going to talk about fighting, mechanics, ping/aim, game sense, and finally how to improve quickly. So firstly, let's talk about fighting. There are many ways to fight, but the most important thing when it comes to fighting is peaks and learning how to not get in bad situations. Practicing fighting can really only be done in speed realistics or solo ranked. The reason why I'm not saying duos or trios is because to practice your fighting, you have to do it on your own. If you're scared to play ranked, don't be. Don't look at your rank as if it determines how good you are. Simply use it to fight good players to practice your fighting. For example, back in Stark season, I was really bad and I wanted to be better. So I landed at Stark Industries every game, and after that my fighting skills have skyrocketed. If you just camp in a bush all the way to Unreal, you're not learning anything, and you shouldn't be proud about your rank if you achieve it like that. Instead, try to W-key everybody you see to practice all scenarios. Also, the reason why I didn't say PGs is because you play reckless, because you have things like infinite mats and 0 delay. That's why solo ranked is the best option. Now that we've covered some basic stuff about fighting, let's move on to mechanics. There are a lot of ways to have great mechanics, and some of them are really easy to practice, but because this is a beginner guide, I would like to point out just the basics, which, don't get me wrong, help you improve so much. First up is your crosshair placement and consistency in your building. It's really simple to practice. Go into Raiders Mechanics Training Map version 4 and head on over to the free build section. Then on your left you see a whole bunch of speed options. The best way to work on consistency and crosshair placement is by going on a low speed and free build. Don't be too flashy, just focus on your crosshair placement and keep it tight and steady while moving your mouse as little as possible to get the best consistency and crosshair placement, which will help you improve your edit speed like crazy because you don't have to move your whole arm, which decreases your edit speed. Slowly work your way up to a higher speed and even go above 1x for the fastest improvement, but don't rush it. Also, a really important thing to learn is piece control. For all of my beginners out there, take it from all pros, piece control is one of the most important fundamental in mechanics. Piece control is essentially having your opponents in your own builds, which will give you the control over the fight, allowing you to not only win the fight, but also improve so many aspects of your fighting and mechanics at the same time. I'm going to try to demonstrate what kind of simple moves involve piece control. First method of getting piece on your opponents is full boxing someone. You may hear a lot of pros screaming, "Full box!" and that is basically one of the most popular form of piece control. Full boxing someone can drastically help you have control over the fight, hence the name piece control. There are many forms of piece control that I'm not going to bore you with during this video. The best beginner friendly method to have some kind of piece on your opponent is by placing a build that your opponent didn't already place. For example, placing a cone on top of the box or in the box. There are 2 methods to always force a cone in the box. One of them is always used by the pro named Polarized. It's a little more advanced though. So the one you can easily learn is walking up to your opponent's wall, and right as you break the wall, place your own stair or cone in the box to force it in. Make sure to read your opponent while breaking it, because if you're not careful, you will get edited on and one-shotted. Next up is having high ping. If you struggle with ping issues, then there's an easy way to improve that if you don't already use it. It's called the Ethernet cable, and it plugs directly into your internet without using Wi-Fi. But now let's get into how to actually play with high ping. From 40 to 60 is what I could consider pretty high ping. Remember that your aim is always going to help you more than your mechanics. It's important to understand that, since you can't build fastly enough to look flashy, but being flashy is not needed in order to become great at Fortnite. Look at Peterbot for example. He won many high kill solo cash cup finals games, even though he had 40 plus ping in all of those. That just means that you can always improve at Fortnite even though you have high ping. The best methods to win your fights is by playing defensively and having patience. That is so effective and important because you just have to create space and wait for your enemy to make the mistakes. That involves good decision making and not to try to be flashy, so remember to play smart. Also, a great way to have better mechanics when you have high ping is by enabling edit on release. I made an in-depth guide on edit on release a few days ago, so I recommend you watch that after this video if you don't know if you rather have it on or off. but I will say that enabling it can be really good if you do struggle with high ping. Now let's talk about your game sense. Game sense is so important because it really gives you the advantage if you know certain stuff. Game sense basically means to read your opponents at all times and adapting to your situation. For example, you can't build at some places on the map, so you really need to learn your environment and using it against your opponent to get the upper hand. The most basic things to learn in game sense are things like knowing where the enemy is, reading what he is going to do, if they have certain items in their hand, know when to push, when to play defensive, when to look for counter damage, and kind of being able to predict enemy moves all drastically gives you the advantage in a fight, allowing you to dominate your opponent. So make sure to always be scanning your surroundings and be aware in the game. Now that we've covered all of those things, it's time for the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video. The best creative maps for improving all of these aspects quick and effectively. All codes are in the description. For the best fighting improvement, play practice maps like wkeyer 1v1s and speed realistics. For the best mechanics improvement, play mechanics training maps like Raiders 1 or polarized map. For the best ping and aim practice are also mechanics training maps with aim trainings as well to improve. Both Raiders 1 and polarized has these in their map. Or speed realistics to practice your defense playstyle, etc. And last but not least, to improve a game sense is maybe going into pubs or a custom match to learn the map. But my suggestion is just to play ranked for the maximum improvement, and it just comes naturally. That is going to be it for the video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna see you later.